Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. If you want to learn more how to create your own podcast, go visit anchor.fm. And before anything else, I would just like to say thank you to each and every single one of you who are listening to the podcast right now. If this is your first time, then I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And if you do, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes that we have here only on Spotify. And if this is your nth time or you're an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to see you guys here. That only means one thing, and that means you are invested in your personal development journey. And I'm so excited about this episode right here because right now I have the honor to invite one of the top leading life and wealth coaches in the industry here in the Philippines, not only here, but also the world. He goes around the world to teach leaders and transform them into better leaders and also become their best versions of themselves. He has a very inspiring story that I cannot wait to dive into. He started as a janitor from Davao City, and he rose his way up to becoming the regional sales manager back when he was, and also he retired at the age of 35. I cannot wait to dive deeper into that story, but he also founded the training company called I Am Plus Coaching. And I recently attended the Discovery course, which was mind-blowing. I cannot wait for you guys to check this out. Let's all welcome to the show Coach Russ Juson.
Wow.
Coach Russ, hi.
Thank you for having me here. I'm excited. This is my first ever podcast, professionally driven. So I'm excited. Thank you for having me here.
It's my honor. It's really my pleasure. And again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and your energy coming out here. I know you have a busy schedule. You haven't occupied. You're flying in a few hours, but you're here and you're spending your energy with us. So thank you so much. And of course, I don't want to wait any longer. I want to learn more about your story. So how did you start in this, leadership or transformative journey?
I guess it's really understanding the word gratitude. Self-development has been what I was eating, breathing, and sleeping since I started working. You have to understand that in the 70s, if you grew up with parents who are separated, that's not unique. That's very unique, okay? Being able to see yourself flunking in all grades. So I felt growing up, I had all the disadvantage. I don't have any future. So when I graduated college, I actually applied for more than 100 companies. None of them replied, not even fast food. No. And I was so blessed because one company was looking for 1 week, I should say, person who will be cleaning the showroom of the company called Philips. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I feel so blessed that I got the job. And the good thing around it was I realized that I did not work for a boss or for a company. I realized that I worked for a mentor because the person who got me in, taught me a lot of stuff, and gave me my first book, which is Psychocybernetics. And he told me, go read this and understand this and apply this in your life. And that's where I started understanding that everything is self-image. So if I want to change my life, I need to start working on my self-image. I need to start improving myself. So that was my first journey. And fast forward, I realized I've come a long way. From overweight to right now at 51, I know I'm still very fit, to, earning minimum wage, to right now, money is just an overflow of excitement in my life. But most important part here is from being insecure of not knowing how to feel love or how to give love, to right now feeling all the love I can give to people around me, and feeling also that I have more capability to love a lot of people. So it's really the importance of looking back to where you start, to how you can serve the world through the transformation that I created for my life. And this is what I want for a lot of people around me, to really see that if you don't like where you are, you can always change it, because you're not a tree that when you're planted there, you're there forever. If you don't like what you're wearing, change it. If you don't like your friends, change it. Change is something that is exciting, that will allow you to create biggest and wildest life you can ever imagine.
I love that. Is exciting. And you mentioned in your transformative, especially in the beginning, you were handed this book. What book is it again?
It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's about self-image.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I want to dive into that a little bit more because self-image is such an interesting topic, and I don't think people understand that concept quite enough. For example, me, of course, going through discovery and learning more about personal development, I understand, okay, we have images. We show ourselves and we are basically showing up based on the image that we were programmed to. How about your perspective on that? When you learned about self-image, how did you apply that in your life to make a positive change?
Nice. I realized that in life, we were all wired up. We were all programmed that when we want something hard enough, long enough, we need to start working so hard around our goals, our dreams, our ambition. And I realized that can be one of the biggest lie. Because even though you work so hard, you get what you want, but there's still emptiness around it. So what I realized early on stage, that if I start changing the way I see myself, okay, it will change everything in my life. No? So basically, it's the principle called be, do, have. We were all wired up to the principle do, have, be, meaning do study really well so you can have the university diploma so you can be happy and successful in your life. And we all know that it's not happening, right?
Yeah.
And some people have the principle called have, do, be, meaning I must have this so I can do a lot of things so I can be happy and successful. The self-image goes beyond action, beyond event, beyond strategy, but it goes directly to how I see myself, meaning what do I believe about myself? It's be, or we calls it beingness. How you are on a day-to-day basis, how you show up in the world will create the actions that you want, and then you will have whatever you want. So meaning, if I want to be happy and successful, I don't have to work hard, but I have to show up every day happy. And in my mind, even though I don't have yet the success that I want, successful, create it upfront. You call it beingness work, because when you see yourself happy and successful, even though the results are not yet there, you start doing the actions of people who want to be happy, who want to be successful, with a lot of inspiration. It's not hard work, it's joy work. Then you have all the things that you want. One classic example. All my life has been overweight, obese, and no matter what I do, I buy all of this expensive stuff. The most expensive, weight loss program, I lose it, I gain it, I lose it, I gain it, up until I realize that little fat boy who's wanting for more approval, wanting for more attention, to finish all the food that you want, up until I start changing that image and stepping into the beingness of being a fit, young, energetic man. And because I have that image anymore, so the moment I wake up, I start stepping up as a fit man. Okay? I started eating as a fit man. And as a result, at 51 right now, I'm very happy with my physique, simply because I changed the way I see myself from a fat boy to a fit boy.
I love that. There's so many things to digest on the story that you shared, but I particularly remembered one time where I saw that in my life, because I was getting all these pimples and I was getting so frustrated. And the more that I got frustrated, the more that I kind of judged myself. Oh my God, you're getting ugly, you're getting uglier. And then the pimples started coming out and it increased. And then when I started, and I had that shift, you know what? I should be kind to myself, change that self-image. So what I did is, you look good. Even though you have pimples, you look good. And then the pimples started to go away. And so I was like, okay. So this is like the principle of you got to be confident first.
Yep.
To have that confidence that you're willing
Definitely.
to have. But one question that I do have, for sure, a lot of people listening to this, that's easy to say,
Yeah.
I'm going to show up every day. But somehow it feels like I'm faking it. And there's still some resistance. How do you deal with that?
Definitely, it starts with the language. Okay? So meaning, If there are things that you don't like about your life, there are things that you like about yourself, look at what meaning you gave to yourself. So meaning if I am fat, then you can now start moving it to I'm healthy and fit. Definitely there's resistance, and basically what we don't want is when we start claiming this is the resistance, because the more you resist, the more it will persist, no? So basically what I learned in life, if you want something that will work for you, okay, you start working with your number one, verbal conditioning, meaning speak to yourself however you want it in a present tense. Now, that becomes now, I should say, resistance when you don't match it with number two, which is what you call your emotional impact. No? Meaning start allowing yourself to experience what you're saying small by small, pieces by pieces. No, like example, a lot of people would like to say, I'm a millionaire,
Yeah.
but in real fact, in real sense, if you are to look at them, they're broke,
Yeah.
right? So basically, yes, you're able to say that. That's your verbal affirmation. However, you have to match how you feel every day. No, so the moment you start verbalizing it, even though you don't have it yet, you start feeling gratitude. You start feeling blissful. You start to train your heart to match whatever you are saying to yourself, because again, according to ontological coaching, no, or they say that words are only 7%, according to Albert Moravian. So therefore, no matter how much affirmation you put out, but if the 38%, which is the emotion, doesn't match it, it's still useless. You need to match how you feel to the verbal affirmation that you would want for your life. However, 55%, which is for me the biggest impact for transformation, is what we call your physical body. When you say physical body, you need to start moving no matter what. You need to start exposing yourself to the areas where you want to be. And this is what we call your theory of space. The space where you are always at will determine whether you're going to transform your life or not. So a lot of people who always use verbal affirmation, it won't work not unless you match it with 38% emotion, which is allowing yourself to experience small wins. Okay? Collect evidence after evidence. Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, I'm on my way. Wow, I'm on my way. But that's useless not unless you get into the 55%, which is theory of space, wherein where you are at will determine whether you're going to expand or you grow, which is people who you're with. Okay? Physically, where do you stay? Are you always, in the food area wherein there's so much food? Are you always in the gym wherein you start, working out for yourself? Whatever have you, these are the three things that you want to start to understand. Again, verbal conditioning, which is your 7% words. Emotional impact, which is now 38%, which is experience, brand new experience, because experience sticks on. But the 55% really theory of space, where you are at physically, will determine whether you're going to grow or shrink. But more than that, who you are with, who you surround yourself with. And we call that modeling.
Wow. Okay, I actually got goosebumps as you were talking about that concept, because right now, for the people who are not aware, it's my first time going out from my hometown since the pandemic. And I've been able to experience a lot of new experiences. And I can say that I can't remember who I am before. Like, I'm a brand new Alex. So I'm always inspired. I have so much energy. But that's crazy. And I want to ask, like, with your experience, how did you apply the theory of space? And because one thing that I think a lot of people would ask, where can I find it? How can I apply that? I mean, I don't know how.
Okay, so we have a project in I have a pool of life coaches and wealth coaches, and if the goal and if the dream and the ambition is to live big, live large, or maybe earn 7 figures on a monthly basis, okay? First is for you to start to understand, okay, we covered already the affirmation, okay, verbal conditioning. We covered already the gratitude, the blissful feeling, excitement. But these two are useless not unless you move out literally from the space where you live. Not unless the space where you live is something like when you wake up, wow, I feel like a multi-billionaire, beautiful, everything is magical. the views is just fantastic, then stay there. But if the place where you are staying is not supporting where you want to be, find a space. So normally what we do with young people, we ask them to group themselves 3, 4, 5, look for an apartment, no, that you can actually afford, divide by 4. But the moment you come in there, you notice your neighbors. Wow. The moment you wake up, you see swimming pool. The moment you open your eyes, everything is just beautiful. Then you notice that 55% follows. And you're right. You don't even remember who you were before simply because you now start to change the self-image of who you are today. And please do not stop working on your self-image because self-image is everything. And the reason why a lot of self-development programs do not work is because they're focused on number 1, okay, goals. Okay, some people, they get their goals, and then once they're done, they move back, they go back to original form.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people focus on number 2, which is the process, which will take long. Okay. I would recommend, if you want 10x your life, do not work on your goals, do not work on the process, but focus on changing your self-image. Because with the moment you start your self-image, even if you don't set goals, okay, just go on the process of growth, experience brand new things in your life, but above all, be in a space of contribution. If money is what you want in your life, result will just follow. Like right now, I'm 51. I don't set goals anymore. I just set intention. And I don't work on it or in it. Somebody's working through me. And I believe that's the self-image of who truly I am, which is I'm capable. I am endless possibilities, meaning I go directly to the source of who I am. And therefore, the source of who I am will start working for me, working through me, not me working on my goals.
Fascinating. One of the most fascinating things, and even you were discussing this in the discovery session that we had last weekend, that you don't set any more goals. You don't have a to-do list.
No.
You don't have you have a schedule, but you kind of just like getting into the flow with it. And have you always worked in this way ever since?
Definitely, it did. I did not start that way. I just realized that when I read the book of Vishen Lakhiani's Code of Extraordinary Mind, that's where I realized he was able to just chop all the phases of my personal development program. No, so if you want to hear this, according to Vishen, level 1 consciousness is what you call culturescape. What does it mean? The world happens to me and I'm a victim here and I cannot do anything around it. So meaning if you were born poor, you will die poor. You cannot do anything around it. Okay. By accident, people move to level 2, which is personal development. Okay. So people move to level 2 are those people who do not take the usual track, which is employment. What they do, they go on maybe network marketing, maybe insurance, real estate. Because you are no longer dependent on your employer, you're dependent on you. So therefore, people who move to level 2, which is what you call the awakening stage, meaning, yes, the world happens to me, and I always have a choice to see it, whether it's an opportunity for me to grow or opportunity for me to put drama around it. So in level 2, you take personal development seriously, meaning you work on the tools like affirmation, visualization, all of the things that we're putting out there as a personal development, you work on that. Up until you stay here long enough, hard enough, you start to rewire. You start to see yourself differently. Then you start to forget who you were before. Then you move to level 3, which is what we call recoded, meaning you already forgot who you were because you now installed a new, I should say, version of who you are. Now you see yourself differently. The good news about level 3 is you need not to set goals. You just have to set intention because the goals will come through you, not by you. Level 3, you need not to do affirmation. You need not to do all of the stuff, the visualization. Why? Because it has already been part of your life. Wow. So the tools that you'll be using for level 3 is what we call meditation and intuition. Meaning you start connecting to that source inside you, and I call that the superconscious. Because when the superconscious works through you, he will give you signs where you need to be, who you need to talk with. He's just creating this magical appointment book for you, right?
I love that.
Yeah, and you just have to listen. But how can you listen if you don't even practice meditation? Okay, so that's beautiful. Recoded yourself. You recondition yourself to a brand new you. Okay, so therefore, your only job here is to make sure you stay mindful, moment to moment. You also do your meditation practice so you get your intuition high.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you stay here long enough, hard enough. You move to level 4, which is what you call limitless being. Limitless being is beautiful because whether you like it or not, every day will always be blissful. Okay, where work and play become one, immunity to overwhelmment. Busyness and I should say pressure or stress is not even part of your vocabulary. Win-win all relationship, meaning even there are people who are ugly, horrible, nasty to you. You bless them, you thank them because why? They're God's greatest gift to you for you to move you to your next level. And just realize that. Okay, people who gave you so much heartache and pain, they gave you the greatest lesson. Then you move to the next lesson because you already learned from this lesson. Number 4, abundance in all areas of life, no, in terms of time, energy, effort, even money. That's what limitless being is all about. Number 5, okay, you have direct access to the creativity, meaning everything that you do is all creative, it's all exciting because you have direct access. You don't even have to think because it's downloaded all the time. This is the best part. Bending reality, meaning you can make this into white, even this is black. It's possible, no? The most beautiful part about being limitless is that you don't have to do all of this stuff because, again, meditation is already part of your life. Yeah. Mindfulness is part of your life. So you don't have to do it as a verb because it's already a being. And the only thing you need to watch out for this last level, it's not the last level because there's one more, which is Christ consciousness. But I'm having so much fun in the limitless being. And the only, I should say, tool that you have there is forgiveness.
Wow.
Meaning the faster you forgive and let go and bless and thank people or even situation who you feel is not the way it should be, the more you move forward, create your biggest and wildest dreams.
Wow. Okay. I have so many things that I want to reiterate, but I just love how the concept called limitless. I mentioned this before. One of my favorite phrases now is bending reality, because I've seen people, for myself, I've seen myself set goals, but I was able to reach far beyond that. And looking back, I have this certain reality, certain truth. Now, okay, I'm meant for only this stuff. But once I'm able to break that or see now, I can have a breakthrough more than the goals that I'm setting. Now it's like, I can actually set anything that I want. And once you shift from having those kinds of goals into just making that as an everyday thing, now you are bending reality every day. I think that's a really interesting concept and also something that we should all aim for. But you mentioned, and I think this is really interesting, about the forgiveness part. Because a lot of people who are staying in the conscious state on the level 1, on the level 2s, I think, or I feel like the hardest thing that they're dealing with is forgiving a part of their past, forgiving themselves, forgiving other people. And I can recall a part of the discovery session, a huge part of it was about teaching about forgiving yourself, right? Forgiving your inner child and all that stuff. And after that, I just want to put it out there, guys, you gotta go there, you gotta experience for yourself. But one thing that I've experienced is I learned to forgive myself. Yep. And every day, now I don't stress about life. For example, earlier I got a flat tire and I was like, oh my gosh, I might be late. But I said, you know what? This is beyond me. It's okay. Yeah. Don't panic. Don't stress. It's okay. And I was like laughing at it. Oh, this is so funny. I got a flat tire. Okay, what can I do now? Angkas. Okay, go ahead. So learning about that forgiveness. How can you teach people to learn about forgiveness?
I don't know if you can teach people how to forgive, but it's a choice. That you have to understand that if the choice is not to forgive, every choice we make, there's always a price and there is a benefit. If I may ask you, if you do not forgive, what are the prices you're paying?
Probably I'll feel hate towards that person.
What else?
Pain. If I don't forgive, probably I don't know. If I don't forgive, I feel like
Okay,
I'm.
are you happy?
No, I'm
Do you have
not.
peace of mind?
No,
Are
I'm
you
not.
moving forward?
No.
Are you creating your biggest and wildest dreams?
No,
You're
I'm not.
stuck and you're not creating the life that you want. That's a price to pay,
Wow.
right?
Uh-huh.
Not forgiving, so much price to pay. Ultimate price to pay, cancer.
Cancer. How?
Okay,
Why?
so again, according to John Hopkins University,
Uh-huh.
cancer research, okay, every physical pain comes from an emotional pain.
Oh yeah.
Every emotional pain comes from mental pain. So the mental pain starts here that he did me wrong, she did this, she did that, and it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I think about it, okay, I bring it to my emotion. Meaning I'm not at ease. Meaning my body is dis-ease. And if I stay long enough fighting for my dis-ease, discomfort, then it becomes disease.
Mm-hmm.
Then stay there, hold on to it, then you become deceased.
Yeah.
Right? So there's so many price to pay if you do not forgive. Right? What benefit are you getting if you don't forgive?
What benefit? I don't think there's a benefit.
You wouldn't do anything if you don't have benefit.
It's easy, to rather face the uncomfortable truth. So I'm staying in my comfort zone.
Is it really comfort zone? You're sick, you're not creating your dreams, you're broke, all of these things that you don't like, it's the benefit, it's the price to
But
pay.
why is that? Why are people always choosing that? That is so weird.
Okay,
I think
between you and the person who hurt you, who is the bida here?
Between me and the person who hurt me, if I don't forgive,
Yeah.
the power is over to the person I'm not forgiving.
Yeah, you're giving away your power.
Yeah.
Except why do you do it? What's the benefit?
I know I feel like a victim.
That's a price to pay.
Uh-huh.
That I'm powerless. I'm the victim here.
Huh. What
Only one
benefit?
thing. You get to be right, that they're wrong.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the most difficult part, it's so hard, it's so hard, it's so hard.
It is.
It's so
But-
hard to let them be right about what they did to you.
Oh, we don't want to lose that.
Exactly. You are fighting for your right, that you are right, that they're wrong.
And that's our egos.
EGO, edging God out, meaning you're just telling, Lord, this is not the way it should be. Get out of the way, I want it my way. Sabi niya, sure. Then you see your life not working the way you want it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean,
So you do not teach people, just look at the price and benefit. Do you want to stay this way? No more. This is the way. I don't like. Sure.
I think not a lot of people see that. Just because you're not making an action. I remember I read a quote that says, "If you're not choosing to change, you're choosing to stay the same."
Exactly.
But we don't see
again,
that.
It's a program.
Mm.
Okay. All of this starts with resentment. And how do we define resentment? Any negative emotional reaction towards what we think was said or done was wrong. Envy, anger, irritation, upset. Nothing wrong. Except when you continue being upset, you move to the next R, which is resistance. And the ultimate pain in life is you are resisting what's going on. They always say, what you resist will persist. Right? And then there are two types of resistance. It's either you fight or you flight. Most Filipino don't talk about it. Right? When we're angry, we're mad, we keep it. And all of a sudden, the world move on and you're still there because you're resisting. And then once you're in the resistance mode, you move to the next, which is what you call revenge. But the revenge is not actually towards the person who you felt caused you pain, but it's actually revenge towards yourself because you're not moving forward. You're stuck. And you stay this way for the longest time. I see a lot of people working with people for more than 15, 20 years. It's all regrets.
Yeah.
I should have done it from the very beginning, except that maybe We were all wired up. We were all programmed, okay, of resentment. And when you don't feel good about it, it's either you suck up or you fight, and then you create this revenge, and then you regret for the rest of your life.
I think that's really that's really fascinating because one, I can see that it is true for a lot of people. The second thing is that people don't know how to deal with that. Like it's something that holds them forever. I can see people, it takes up their whole lifetime that they're living in that way, living in regret, living in resentment, in resistance, in revenge, and in regret. But they don't know how to shift that. So how do you recommend or how do you advise people to have that shift, or how do they shift
Now,
that?
again, this is according to Vision Lakiane. There are two ways of learning and growing ourselves. It's either you do Satorai or Kensho. Okay? Satorai is instant awakening. Like you attend seminars like what I run.
Can you have that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to go through the process. It's just, oh wow, I got it, and then all of a sudden my life changed. Okay? Some people go through Kensho. Kensho, you have to go through the deepest, darkest area of your life and say, I don't want this anymore, I want to change. Right? So those are the two types. But if you want to learn this and grow this, then maybe let's all train ourselves the moment we feel resentful. Because at the end of the day, every day, there will always be upset. There will always be irritation.
Yeah.
Just like what happened to you this morning, right?
Yep.
But how can you shift right away? Right? That's the biggest question. Some people are stuck with the drama, but shifting is something that you want to start understanding in your life. That if something is not working, you take a deep breath and say, okay, what a beautiful surprise.
I love that.
Universe, what's up? I'm ready. Show me. Right? So from resentful to next is the what I call release. Okay? I give myself opportunity to say,
Okay, so it's okay. I
Right?
say fuck you.
yeah, I'll give myself opportunity to do that, because when you do that, you're giving yourself permission to release it energetically. Right?
In a physical sense.
Emotional, physical, mental. Because when you say speak out, it's mental. Emotional, it's release. Physical, it's just doing it out.
Okay.
Okay, so again, recognize, yes, this is not the way I want it. But the moment you start, okay, I will release this,
Yeah.
then emotionally I release it, physically I release it, mentally I release it, then I move to the next, which is reframe. How can I grow from this? How can I learn from this? How can I use this to move me and prepare me to my biggest and wildest dreams? But you can only do that consistently with excitement when you move to the last, which is what I call rebuild. Meaning you spend time rebuilding relationship with you. Because if I may ask you, what's a dream income for you for now? In the next 3 years, what's a dream income?
My dream income would be around, I don't know if I can say this on the podcast. I'll put it out there.
Figure 7, 8,
7 figures
Okay.
the next year.
Okay, this is one thing I'll guarantee you, no? 7 figures, but not putting, 7 figures, especially working with people. I'll guarantee you, you will be upset every day because you'll be working with different people, with different personality, with different come from. And if that's happening for you, you must make sure that you're okay. Even if there's a moment that you're not okay, you know you'll be okay because you rebuild yourself every day. Meaning, take time out every single time. And for me, this is my ultimate number one, only work in my life, extreme self-care.
Extreme self-care.
Because there's no guarantee that you won't hurt me. There might be, but here's the thing. Even if you hurt me, I know that I am okay because I took care of myself even before the hurt came.
The whole concept of like learning about reframing and rebuilding, I just love how you pointed it out that can only be achieved, and this is the only work that we need to do. It's enormous or gigantic amount of self-care.
Exactly. I mean, no amount of big hurt can hurt me because I'm okay. No, a lot of people come to me for help. I support them. I did this, and all of a sudden, they leave the space and they are judged by my colleagues as these are people who are traitors. These are people who got from you, who stole from you. And when they come back, of course, people around me will protect me. Say, hey, don't you remember what this person did? I said, you know what? I don't even remember that they stole from me. They betrayed me. And even if they did, it doesn't matter. Ask me why.
Why?
It was just an overflow from within. And I did not even notice that.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means no amount of pain and hurt and disappointment that you can give to me simply because I know I protected myself internally.
You've done the inner work so that
The only work I know that is my only job in the world is my inner work. And when my inner work is solid, and I know it is,
yeah.
external world will just follow. So meaning, the world happens to me in conscious 1, and I cannot do anything around it.
Uh-huh.
Conscious level 2, the world, I understand I have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, the world is inside me. So meaning I just need to protect what I feel inside, what's going on inside me. And the limitless being is I can co-create my world with my creator.
Wow. Co-create your world with your creator. Being aligned with that infinite source of happiness, joy, and peace. Okay. I mean, I have so many comments
Sure.
with what we're talking about. But let me touch on a little bit about the self-care part, because I've been applying that. And I can't say... Here's one thing that I'm really curious about, because now, as Coach Max said, okay, you guys are in a seminar's high, don't make major decisions. But coming out of it, now 4 days or 5 days out of the session that we did in the Discovery program, I still feel like I'm just this newborn guy that, I don't know. It's not a high anymore. It's something that I want to sustain over and over again. And one thing that really changed me is the 4 a.m. meditation.
Yep.
I meditate every single day, 4 a.m. I was like, 4 a.m. That's absurd. I mean, why would you wake up at 4 a.m.? But I did it. Just try it out. Open myself to that possibility. And once I did that, once in the morning, 4 a.m., before I go to sleep, I take on an hour of meditation. Bliss.
Yep.
That's what I'm feeling right now. And just every experience, like a new experience, an exciting one. And so that's my self-care. What are some other forms of self-care that you want to recommend to people?
Definitely, rest is very important for me. So meaning I don't allow myself to be irresponsible with my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning whether there's party or guests at home, once 10 o'clock is 10 o'clock, I'm in the bed. Okay?
Wow.
My normal, if there are, every day I have guests at home. Crazy, no? So normally I sleep 8, 7:30. Okay, why? Because before I sleep, I want to make sure I clear my mind. I sit down in a quiet place through a process of meditation. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The moment I wake up, which is normally 3:30, worst is 4, I spend quality and quantity time alone connecting to the source. That's for me my highest form of extreme self-care.
Mm-hmm.
1 hour. Okay? And then I move to physical movement. So it's either I do my tabata, I do my yoga, but I want to make sure I'm moving towards the direction where I want to be physically.
Mm-hmm.
And then part of my extreme self-care is, especially when I'm at home, I make sure I walk barefoot in the grounds and just do my self-grounding. And that's the only work I have. And the entire day for me is more than perfect.
I love that. Okay, so I have 2 questions. Number one, because I saw you, first time we saw each other, I went to the seminar. So I got there. Okay, this is a funny story. So I got there, and the first person who greeted me, I was shy. I didn't know who to talk to. The person who greeted me was you.
Okay.
Someone called me Alec, and I was like, oh my gosh, Coach Russ, that's you. Okay, so we greeted each other, and then Yanni came along, and then the thing that I noticed is that you were barefoot.
Yep.
You don't have any shoes. You don't even have any slippers. And you mentioned that it's something that you've been doing over the years now.
Yep.
When in training sessions. But one thing that interests me, also you mentioned this, like you ground yourself by doing that.
Yep.
Can you explain a little bit more about that?
I think one of the most important part of my journey right now is understanding that I'm a nature. I'm part of nature. I'm part of this entire universe of nature. And the fastest way I can connect to that is the word called grounding. So most important grounding exercise is to walk barefoot on the ground, okay, especially with the grass. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know it became now a habit that I don't know. Maybe I only have one pair of shoes just in case I really need to wear one, like showing up in the embassy. But most of the time, I just wear sleepers and I spend a lot of time with the nature. So being on the ground keeps me really alert, alive. Never remember in my grounding days up until now, I get sick. Never.
Wow. Never. And you
During
attribute
this
that
COVID thing, I
grounding.
have zero, wearing all of the things that they are. That's why I don't want to go to the city. I don't want to go to the mall because I don't want to wear all of these things that requires to do. But even if I'm outside, most of the time I take it off. And I was exposed several times to community wherein everyone was in it or on it. And I did not even get myself inflicted with that whatever virus they're telling me.
Wow.
Because my immune system is stronger than any disease that's available out there.
And that is a part of your inner work.
It is. Especially
Not just not just in a physical sense, because
No.
I'm sure you got like you're training, you're exercising, which makes your immune system stronger.
Yep.
But you kind of mentioned to me before that it starts here. Like if
Yep.
you don't want to get that, you gotta protect
Start
yourself.
here. Yeah. You don't even mention those words. Don't even expose yourself to things that you don't like. So it starts here, but this is useless that unless you start working on your emotion. That's why the first law for me is clear your life. Clear your mental baggages, clear emotional baggages, clear your physical baggages, clear what you need to clear, because all of the work that I do, the personal development, the personal mastery, leadership development, all useless not unless I have a clear heart.
Yeah. So we'll get into the clearing part. That's something that I want to touch on for the last part of our podcast. But I just want to ask with the self-care that you mentioned, because now a lot of people, if they listen to this, okay, now I think I can change. I feel like I can do this. I'm going to apply these things, but they're still stuck in that loop, of a 8 to 5 or something's holding them down. They're still stuck in that pattern.
Yep.
But they know that they want to do it. Are you, aside from just leaving out of your space, what are some advice that you can give to like let them start? Do they start slowly with the self-care, or to just say, I don't know, how do they kind of jump out of that?
Personally, this worked for me, and they say start it slow. I mean, if you don't want something in your life, then shift 180 degrees. Don't take it slow by slow, and you slide back, slow say you slide back. Just go decide for it. Okay, and do it all the way. So it's either you're in or you're out. You cannot be 50-50. I mean, what is holding people back is that, okay, I want to change. Okay, I'll do it little. And then I'll cheat a little. And all of a sudden, you're back to where you came from. Okay? So for me, what worked for me and for the people who I actually coach is, okay, if you know smoking is not good for you and you don't want to smoke, don't just say, okay, I'll cut from 10 sticks to 5 sticks. Just go do it. It's so hard. Okay, I'll give it $10 million if you can do it one straight year. Okay, that's easy. So what's the difference? Tell me.
The prize, the benefit. Now they can see the benefit of quitting.
Exactly. But here's the thing. We don't look at the price to pay, but we just want to stay where we are at. And again, we are creatures of comfort. We're creatures of habits. And even though this habit is killing us, we're just okay with it because we're so used to it. And at the end of the day, again, it's a choice you have to make. Every choice you make, there's always a consequence. But what kind of consequence do you want? Is it a consequence that you truly want in your life? Or it's a consequence that you cannot do anything around because this is where you are at?
I love that. Okay, so one of the last things that I want to talk about, because you mentioned it earlier as well. Actually, this is something personal for me because, the discovery session was really, really helpful, especially about the clearing. Like, okay, we need to clear things out, like physically, emotionally, financially, digitally as well. And I know a lot of people right now, I mean, even in the digital sense, like unfollowing, I've been nonstop. Ushras, I've been, every time I'm on my phone, who is this person? Is this guy giving me value? No, okay, unfollow. I'm not gonna, even though I don't like, I don't hate this guy. I like this guy, but it's not really giving me value. I unfollow, so I'm kind of clearing it out. But I want you to guide us through what works for the clearing and how can people clear these baggages in their lives.
Okay, first things first, physical space.
Mhm.
Okay, so look at your room, look at your bag, look at your car. Is this a space wherein you're really proud of because it's so neat, it's so clear, it's so nice, but if not, start cleaning that because it's gonna be the start. Physical space, that's 55%. Okay.
Wow.
Once you're clear with your physical space, you move to your emotional space. Meaning, look at those people who you feel are heavy. Okay. Look at those people who you feel is no longer working with you. Three things you can do. Number one, release them. Meaning, okay, if this is a friend who's been always been there you and it's not working, just say, hey, Alec, it's been years that we have not been talking, so I'm releasing all whatever that happened in the past, and I'm letting you go. God bless you. Have a great life ahead. You don't have to be best friends with them, but at least energetically it's already off from your system. Now, if you cannot release them because they are actually part of your family, they're your wife, they're your husband, whatever, okay? You can do the second part, which is what you call delegate them. No? Maybe you can bring them back, oh, Mom, ikaw na bahala sa kanya. Or if it's work, you assign somebody who can do this for you but you have to clear also, hey, Alec, you've been sending me this message and I have not been looking at it and I apologize. What I can do is I'll send this to the office. They'll take care of it. God bless you. Have a great life ahead. Okay? Now, if you cannot release, if you cannot delegate, third part here is find a way to expand and grow yourself so that whatever situation that's in front of you, you're A-okay with it. So meaning the capacity to accept, especially people who's hard to accept. No? Most of it are actually parents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So accept them unconditionally.
Yeah.
Okay? Compassion. Maybe expand your heart to be compassionate that, maybe they're going through a lot and all I have for them is compassion, or maybe forgiveness, and unconditional love. So those are the three choices for in as far as emotional baggage is concerned. Okay. Another thing that you need to clear is your digital space. I mean, a lot of people, you're sending them text. It's very important, and they don't even respond. No.
Yeah.
If I may ask you, Alec, no, you were not around for 1 week, and you saw thousands of people are sending you a message. How does that feel like?
It's overwhelming. I don't even know these people. Too much.
And then you continue with your life, not responding to them. How does that feel like?
I feel bad.
Okay, you carry that, we call it half circle in your life, meaning you have unfinished business with these people. So what I do, okay, every time I see a message, I respond, hey, thank you for this message. You know what? I no longer do this. God bless you. Or, hey, I'm putting up somebody here to take care of this. And say, hey, yeah, I want to do it. Which means every time I'm in front of people, I know I'm whole, I'm complete because I have no unfinished business.
Wow.
You carry your unfinished business to anyone and everyone who you meet. That's why I think one of the many things that I would love to see people is to stand in their self-assurance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
knowing who they are.
Because I think a lot of people don't want to do that because they might hate me. They might think I'm rude or something.
Doesn't matter. I mean, do you want to bless people, inspire people, or do you want to be liked?
I want to bless people.
Exactly. So part of you blessing people is for you to stand up in your power, for you to stand up in your greatness, for you to stand up that, even if you don't like my opinion, even if you don't like the way I look, it doesn't matter because why? I like me. I'm okay with me.
So
and this is no longer about money or recognition, but this is about, for me, feeling good about myself when I am by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you're always, wow, great job, man, great job. You're awesome. And that's the best feeling ever. And the more you feel that way, more of what you want will run after you.
I think that's the one of the biggest change that I think people can just apply in their lives, starting from self-image and applying a lot of self-care, learning, understanding that you have that choice to forgive and there's always a consequence of choice. And now to just really surrendering. I think the term that you mentioned was surrendering to your greatest you.
Yep, the grandest version of the greatest vision of who you are. Meaning, for me, I am not a human being with spirit, but I am a spiritual being in a human experience.
Wow.
So if I surrender to my spirituality as to who I am, as how I was created, therefore, I can create limitless possibilities in my life.
Yeah. And I think that's also one thing that changed me every day. Every day when I talk to people and I see them doubts and worries, I reiterate the thing that I heard in the discovery session. Guys, I'm really raving about the discovery because it changed my life. And I hope you guys check it out. It's really life-changing. But the one thing that I remind myself every single day, I'm a son of God and I'm a faithful man, but I've never looked at it that way. I've been practicing my religion for quite some time now, but I don't really remind myself now, wait, if I'm a son of God and if I'm, God's child, I'm limitless. I am so capable. I do not need to worry and I am enough. I'm more than enough. God looks over me, and every day I remind myself that. And every time that I talk with someone, the fears, the doubts, the worries, they're all gone.
Yep.
Just because of the fact that I can remind myself that I'm a child of God.
If you know you are, prove.
Yeah.
And the only work you have here is to start working on your fear, working on your doubt, working on your worry, because this is the only reason why people are not creating the life that they want, because there's so much fear. They wanted to do something and they know they can do it, but here's the thing. There's so much doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doubting yourself? That means you're doubting your creator.
Yeah.
And because you're so living in doubt, there's so much worry. And for me, worry is negative prayer. And worry is anticipating of things that you want. And it's on its way.
Mm-hmm. So worry is negative prayer. I love that phrase.
It is.
Worry is negative prayer.
You keep on, baka mahulog. Ay, nahulog na nga. It's really you putting in attention to the things that you don't want, and it expands more of. So instead of doing that, no, and I like that you're starting your 4 a.m. Meditation or 5. You're actually creating the opposite work, which is actually the faith work.
Yeah,
meaning you're deepening your faith towards that inner power, okay, that inner guidance that you have, and following the instruction. Be still, know that I am. Meaning you don't have to do anything. I'll take care of you, but just, practice being still.
Yeah.
Okay? And when your faith work is really deep, you act in hope. Meaning you're excited towards going to where you want to be, even though you don't see it pa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's why it's called faith are the things that we hope for certain things we do not see. Meaning, even if you are not where you want to be, you act as if you're there already. Like right now. Okay? Is it one of your dream to have at least, 200 million followers?
Yes. Yep.
So therefore, the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you move, as if you already have 200 million followers.
Yes.
So you cannot not miss anything. Why? Because, 200 million people are following me.
Yeah.
So act as if what you want is here and now, even though you don't see it on a physical form, because He is preparing it for you. Therefore, when you have faith, when you have hope, your only job here is to put in love in everything that you do. You just mentioned it, no? You took that. What ride was that?
Angkas.
Wow, I love this.
I love this. And I was reviewing, ano bang mga notes natin for the day. I was nasa Angkas ako and I was like, this is nice. Yeah. This is so great.
So meaning you put everything, love that you do, even if, okay, I love you. Put love in everything too, because that's the source of where you are at. Because when you love everything too, everything will love you back. Yeah, we always talk about law of attraction, and the law of attraction says, you ask for what you want. Give me this, give me this, give me this. And the law of attraction says, whatever you throw out will go back to you. So therefore, the universe will say, give me this, give me this, give me this.
Wow.
versus how can I serve you? How can I support you? How can I be of service today? And he will say, Alec, how can I serve you? How can I give you? How can I support you? What you throw out will go back to you.
That that is truly mind-blowing to see the world just giving you what you are giving it, right? So if we're asking, the world's going to ask.
Exactly.
And if we give, the world is going to give.
Do you know? Do you want to know what you give out?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you have now. So if you don't have enough, because maybe you have not been giving enough. But if you have a lot, it's overflowing. Ask me why.
Why?
You've been overflowing in terms of your giving because you cannot outgive the source.
That's crazy. And I think that really encapsulates my journey here in podcasting. Actually, a few people know this, but last year I messaged Spotify, what does it take? Can I be a Spotify exclusive? And they said, no, something like that. And I was like, okay, never mind. I'll put it away. But after that moment, every episode that I did, I was like, I'm acting like as if I'm a Spotify exclusive, and I didn't get a million. I don't have 1 million followers back then. I don't have 1 million streams, but I was acting like I'm the best there is. I'm one of the top podcasts. And eventually, when I saw myself number 2, climbing up the charts, and I was like, oh, it actually worked. It actually worked. So I just can see that if you're really putting love, and not just committing, but also putting love in everything that you're doing, that's when the universe is also going to commit to you and give love back to you.
He will rally behind you and bring forth whatever you need effortless.
Yeah.
I'm in a sales, but I never sell, but I'm always number one. That it's not important to me, but what is more important for me is, am I also number one in terms of giving?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always, if you look at the new multi-trillionaires right now, they're all about giving.
Uh-huh.
So the world has evolved right now to profits for me, to prosperity for everyone. No? Yeah, I appreciate you truly. You've been talking to people who I work with. You're giving them a lot of value, this and that, without expecting anything in return. And if you continue doing that, fair. You may not get blessing from those people who you work with. He's fair enough to shower all the things that you want.
Yeah. And for me, that's really a bonus. And I appreciate that. Lord, thank you so. I'm really grateful for that. But for me, like the act of, because I really love it. I really love like talking about, podcasting and content creation, trying to give value to them based on what I have. And just the fact that I'm able to share this experience with you because I love it so much is itself a reward.
Exactly.
It's so rewarding right now.
I mean, your top of mind is, how can I serve you? I mean, there was lunch, you went to us and said, hey, this is what I want, this is this I want. And then you notice the first question I ask you, how can we serve you?
Yeah.
So in the end, whoever serves the biggest will win the biggest. So don't look at the chart, don't look at the likes, don't look at the followers, because it will just overflow. Because again, the name of the game right now is massive transformative purpose. Meaning, do you have this grand heart to see heaven on earth?
And once you're able to do that, you'll experience.
Exactly. So don't just look at, I'm from Davao, I'm from Manila, I'm from the Philippines. No. Human race is your market. Meaning you serve anyone and everyone, from the Grab driver to the waiter, to the security guards, to the janitors, to the CEO, to the president. Serve them, love them, give them the way the sun is showing up every single moment of their life.
I'm truly honored by the wisdom that you shared here. This is by far my favorite episode of podcast. This has been amazing. I'm still, my mind is going through a lot of things, and I just want to deep dive into it. But I know that we scheduled this for 1 hour, so hopefully I can get you back on the show. Have more conversations like this.
Let's do it in the farm.
Let's do it in the farm. I can set up there. It's gonna be, and we'll have some video as well, so we can have more content like that. But first of all, I want to thank you so much, Coach Russ, for being here. I want to honor you for just sharing your time, sharing your wisdom, your light here with us, and especially to the people who's going to listen to this. I'm sure that they will definitely love it. And if anything, I can help you with, just let me know. I've been saying to back in the seminar, I just really want to help. I just really want to serve, because the work that you do is amazing, and I just really believe that every Filipino needs to hear it. Everyone in this country, in the world, if they can just have that one idea coming from you, from the coaches, from any leader that you're also helping out, can change their lives for the better. I love to see that. That's my goal. That's my dream. That's my vision. And thank you so much for the work that you do.
Yeah, and you're welcome. And I will always say, pay it forward. And maybe this is a great declaration that I see us as the center of the world's, transformational center, to support people, to support humanity, understand
Yes.
better. Because I just feel that we have that heart to serve and to give, and create people who are aware that they will always have a choice. Okay. And hopefully the choice is all about living life on purpose, giving life, and supporting other people so that they can also support other people.
Yes, I love that. That's something to look forward to, and I'm excited for that. I can see it happening as you were talking about it. I can see it happening. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna put down all the links where you can find Coach Russ's program, and anywhere you can find his TikTok. He's starting his TikTok account. He's now, doing the content creation finally. But yeah, he's reaching more people because of it. And I'm going to link down all the places where you can find his work, and all the programs that you can enroll as well for your personal development. If you guys love the podcast, and I know you guys do, go ahead and check out, because this is just the surface. What we're doing here, go and check it out for yourself. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be life changing. So thank you guys again for being for listening here. And again, thank you, Coach Russ. Do you want to say? Do you want to promote anything or share anything else?
Just love yourself, make yourself a priority, extreme self-care, and don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
Meditate.
Life-changing meditation. Go ahead. Again, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's here. If you like this episode, then assured that you do, go ahead and share this on your social media pages. Don't forget to tag me at Alec Cuenca and at Russ Juson. I think that's your Instagram handle.
RUSSJUSON.
Okay.
Very simple.
Tag. I'll post the links down below. But don't forget to tag us. Share your notes. Share your comments. Share your messages. And we just love reading them, by the way. So thank you guys for being here, for staying with us. And yeah, again, this is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. My name is Alec Cuenca. And I'll talk to you guys next episode. Peace.